I don't want a lot for Christmas. There's just one thing that I need. I don't care about the potions underneath the Deku tree. I just want you for my own. More than Siri even knows. Make my wish come true. Baby, all I want for Christmas is you too. Baby, all I want for Christmas, you too. Damn. That's all I want for Christmas, YouTube. Duh. I'm done. Video's over. Video's over. Well, at least the singing portion anyway. What up, YouTube? It's your boy, Majora, out here doing another video for YouTube. And this is a special one. This is my Christmas special. Every Christmas I do something special. I feel like, anyway. I got nothing better to do. I think actually it was last year that I hit 100 subscribers as I made my Christmas video. I don't remember if it was exactly 100. Maybe I'm wrong. That was definitely with the help of several YouTubers like The Completionist, Outlaw Harvest. I feel like there are a few more. This year I just broke 300, and that's awesome. I also had a video just go over 10,000 views. Also awesome. So this has been a year of landmark successes. So I feel like I owe something back. I like doing my specials. Shout outs to all the viewers who made that possible. Shout outs to all the subscribers who loved me enough to check out my content on the regular, or just even show me that sign of caring. So I appreciate you. I very much appreciate you. I appreciate anyone that brings any kind of good energy to my channel. So thank you. So my special today is I want you to try something new. Based on how I've been doing with videos, I want to do a new one. This is a podcast. This is the Majority Cast. Not Majora's Dreamcast, although we'll save that for another day. The Majority Cast, this is definitely taking some inspiration from some friends of mine that have podcasts on YouTube, namely the Itch Network and Kit171. They both have very interesting styles when they do podcast style videos, although Kit says he does more of a ramble. I still call it a podcast. And what makes them podcasts to me is that they go in with strict agendas, they have their things they talk about, and it's like a routine. I wanted to try this because lately I have been struggling with making videos for a couple of reasons, but I thought this might be a new format that I could try. I actually wanted to try this in the car with the audio recorder app on my iPhone, but my iPhone has been bugging out. So I don't know that that's something I want to do. I'll probably just sit in front of the camera and do it. But I have an agenda today, so I mapped it out on the back of my crystal cedar tape. General update, like what's been up. Games I've been playing. Totally stole that from the Itch Network, but it's a great topic, so I always love to steal that. A little discussion about one of those games, and the reason for that being that the next one is actually, it segues into a topic that I want to discuss from another YouTuber whose video I saw. He did like a little topic video. A couple shout outs, and then close on a Christmas story. So let's do it. So a bit of an update, right? I haven't made a lot of videos lately. That's because I have had so much trouble with it. I tried streaming like twice over the past few days, and I've had issues with it every single time I did it. Part of it's because I live in an apartment in New York City, which is like where I can stream. I can't stream here in the house because like the TV's already bugging out and it's just not comfortable. That was part of it. Is like I couldn't get comfortable doing it. I had like my laptop on a skateboard, and I had like the microphone on a chair, and then I had like the Sega like on another chair, and then like it was not natural. And then I'm sitting like talking to almost a wall where my neighbors live. So I'm not going to stream anymore. I'm done with that. It's just not comfortable. As far as the videos go, you know, part of it has been time. And a huge chunk of my time was being in a master's program, and I just recently got my master's degree. So pat on the back to me. I'm proud of myself. I never thought I'd get it, and here I am, chilling, waiting to get my diploma in the mail. So that opens up a bit more time for me. I don't know that I will be able to do more videos, but I'm gonna try. Part of the problem is that, like, I don't know if I call this a problem really, but a part of what's holding me back is that my job requires I work outside of my job. So I'm working on that. You know, that's been interfering with how well I've been making videos lately. So I got to figure that one out. I got to get back in my comfort zone. So hopefully this one gets me back in the groove. So with that, let me talk about some games I've been playing lately. Clearly, I haven't had so much time for games, but there've been two. There've been two that I've really plugged some time into. All Saturday morning, I played Phantasy Star on my Genesis Flashback HD. It took a bit getting used to. It's a really old school RPG, and sometimes they can be cryptic, but I don't think it's more cryptic than Phantasy Star 2 was. And thankfully, Boston Burf, you the man. You helped me out get my bearings in that game. I know you played it before and you were watching the stream. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for giving me some pointers. Otherwise, I probably would have just dropped it. And I'm a good like 2 hours into the game. The thing about the Flashback HD is that, like, with the built-in games, if you save within the game, it doesn't save it, but if you create a save state, it does. So I lost like an hour there, but I'm really enjoying it. I like that kind of RPG where you got to kind of work your way to explore the rest of the world. It's like a gradual process of like adventuring, so I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to putting more time into it, but I can't play it right now because I'm not in my apartment. Besides that, though, the one game that I've really just been hitting my time into, actually before I get to that, I almost forgot this last time I tried doing this video, and I'm almost forgetting it again, but I just want to give a shout out to my book channel. I've been reading a little more lately, and I wanted to just spotlight a couple books. I tried reading The Invisible Man. I'm about 30 pages in, maybe 40. I like H.G. Wells. I've read The Island of Dr. Moreau. This is written a bit older. This is like Frankenstein style writing, but it's a good book. I like the concept. Invisible guy comes to town and causes a bunch of unrest. So I need to get myself back in the zone to read this, but I am enjoying it. So that's one. And the next is Isaac Asimov's Foundation. This is part of a trilogy that's really popular, famous. I dropped it too, but I picked it up again recently, and I know I'm going to commit to this because I love Isaac Asimov, one of my favorite sci-fi writers, and I feel like it's a disservice not to read some of his more popular works. So go check out my book talk channel. But sorry, that's all the book talk I'm going to do here. The other game I've been playing recently is Shin Megami Tensei 4 Final, or Apocalypse, depending which region you live in. And I got a bit of a backstory with this game. Like, I told myself I wasn't going to play it. I told myself I was not going to buy it. And that's because I had such a rough time with the original Shin Megami Tensei 4. Not that it was, like, too hard, but that game played with me. That game messed with me. And part of the problem was that, like, I played it 3 separate times. The first time, I got about 10 hours in and it was just too difficult. And it didn't unlock the easy mode for me, so I was just, like, getting creamed. The next time, I think it ended on the halfway route. I was like, what? Like, okay. And then I had to, like, restart it from, like, an hour back. And then I played it through to a point where I got lost and I couldn't figure out what to do. The last time I played it, what the game does is it splits you on like one of 2 routes, and if you end up on the neutral route, you're done. But I was pretty much leaning towards a certain route that I wanted to play the whole time. And instead of letting me play that way, I got put on the good side, which I hated, because the good side is technically not that good. And it ruined my playthrough experience, especially for the latter half of the game. I just didn't care for it. I was like, alright, I'll play it, but like this sucks. Why did they do this to me? So I was pissed about that. I told myself, I'm not going to buy SMT4 Final. I don't like what they did to me in this game, so I'm not going to buy it. About a year passes since the game releases, and I do my video with BioPhoenix. I walk into Target about a month ago, and I'm just looking on the game shelves, and I see it, and I've been looking at this copy for a while. It's priced, pretty high. Like, it's retail, $39.99. I know I can get it online for cheaper. I think I saw it for like $25 on eBay. But something that came over me, I wanted a good RPG. I was really craving it, like that one that was just going to be deep for me. I've been playing a few lately that haven't really grabbed me in, and I know I can count on SMT to do it. Also, I have a memory, right, like when I was like 10, and it wasn't like Home Depot, but it was some kind of store like that. And Mom would take me there, and every time she'd take me there, I would go to the game section. And there'd just be walls on walls of games that I couldn't buy because I was like 10 years old and Mom didn't have a lot of money to buy me games. But I would always just go there and check out the games. And recently, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, maybe last year, Mom took me back, and the game section was gone. So I was thinking about that, and I'm thinking about like even going into Target, right? Yeah, this is a chain store. Yeah, they're going to sell games. What if it happened one day that they didn't? That video gaming wasn't popular enough for them to keep selling games. And even especially like games that are on consoles I want to play. Like, yeah, they'll always sell like the Sony and the Xbox, but will they always sell Nintendo 3DS games? I don't know. Wii U games are already like hard to find. So I suckered in, I bought it. And I don't regret it, because right now I'm about 35 hours in, 40 hours in. I have a lot to say on the game, but based on the fact that my throat is a little dry and I want to drink something, I'm not going to say much. I will say, though, that I like some of the improvements they made. I think they made it a bit too accessible for newcomers, which is not really the target audience for this game. I think the target audience is people who played the first one, the first SMT4. But it's not a problem. I don't think it's a bad thing. Besides, the difficulty is there if you want it to be. Just not in that cruel, make you start over from the beginning of the game kind of difficulty that the series is known for. Love the story, though. The story pulls you in. It's going to make you want to sit through it, and it's even more rewarding if you've played the previous game. Not because of like little things you get, but just based on the background knowledge that you're going to have going into the game. It makes it richer. It's not really like a sequel, but it's also not an expansion. It's like a cross of the two. Which brings me to my topic. Recently I saw Rewind Mike do a video on... what the hell was it called? It was like what it would take to get me to buy a Nintendo Switch. And Rewind Mike, first off, this channel I found through Outlaw Harvest. He recommended I check him out. Or just his viewers. I know he's like really important to him at that early stage of his YouTube career, whatever. So I checked him out. I've been subscribed to him. I haven't unsubbed. I like his videos. I like that he does reviews. He's pretty consistent, and he's pretty natural on the camera. So he talked about what it would take to get him to buy a Nintendo Switch, like why he hasn't bought one yet. And it got me thinking, like, well, why haven't I bought one yet, and what would it take to get me to buy one? Of course, there's the money issue, but there's a difference between the Switch and the Wii U. You know, I've never had an interest in buying a Wii U. Like, they just never made that interest. But right now, the Switch has that interest factor. And I think what gives it that is definitely brand loyalty. So for a lot of people, that was Zelda. For more people, that's Super Mario Odyssey. For a number of people, it's Xenoblade Chronicles. For some people, it's Splatoon. For me, it's going to be Shin Megami Tensei 5. And I'll tell you what, like a lot of people were pissed about that it was going to be a Switch exclusive. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I like what the Switch is doing right now. They're putting the heavy hitters on there. And this is going to be a game that's going to change the scope for SMT. Like almost like Persona 5 did for Persona. I didn't care to get Persona 5. I'm not like a big Persona fan, but I love the things that SMT has done since 4 and up. It's interesting because I haven't played a Persona game before 4, and I haven't played an SMT game before 4, aside from some of the spin-offs like Devil Survivor, Raiden Kuzunoa, and another one, a few on the 3DS, but I can already tell that they're going to knock it out of the park. And I have no problem with it being a Switch exclusive. I actually think it's a good thing. That's what's making the Switch a real gamer's console right now. And yeah, I don't have one yet, but I will. I will get one. Probably just for that. Even if they do port it on the PS4 later, I think it's important what the Switch is doing right now. And especially like with regards to partnerships with other companies. You know, like the only thing that might have made me want to get a Wii U was like that SMT game, like that crossover. And I think what's making SMT so appealing for me right now is that like Zelda like hasn't been the same since I loved it the most in its N64 days. Mario hasn't been the same since like Super Mario Sunshine. Xenoblade is that pull for a lot of people because Chronicles 1 was like the game that pulled them in. I haven't even played that, so I have no attachment to it, but Shin Megami Tensei 4 was one of the first few games I got on my 3DS, and it's one that I have a history with, even if it is a bit rough. It goes back to like my first experiences with the console, and I love my 3DS. I love my 2DS. I love all those 3DSs that I had or have. And part of the reason has been games like Shin Megami Tensei 4. So that's my topic. That's like the meat and potatoes of this video. Like, what would it take to get me to get a Switch? Easy. Shin Megami Tensei. That's it. That's most of this video. Most of the Majora T-Cast. I hope you enjoyed. I want to close on some shoutouts and a Christmas story. So, I got two people to shout out. One of which is... I know I've done a few shoutouts so far, like my own channel and like Rewind Mike, but that's just like as it comes up. But this is just like the shoutout portion. One of these channels you probably know because I shout them out all the time. The other is one that I am new to and I haven't shouted out before, so I'm going to start with him. Recently, he's been checking out a couple of my videos, leaving some comments. Nice guy. I went and checked out his channel, and what I like about him is that he's very consistent with what kind of video content he puts out, and also, you know, like upload time. He's kind of new to YouTube, you can tell, like he's new to reviews and everything, but I think he's growing, especially in like the film-esque format, and he's having fun. And when you see someone having fun, that's almost contagious. It's like the kind of feeling that like I don't want to lose with my videos. I always want them to be fun. If I have to come on here and start like ranting and stuff, I'm done. I'm not doing YouTube anymore. Not to say I would never do a rant, but it's just, you know, I'm here for enjoyment. I'm here to create good vibes in the community, etc., etc. Like I generally have a love interest with YouTube because like it's a venue for me to like forget some of like the bad things that happen in everyday life and try and just find some positivity to spread. So big shouts out to Mr. Wee. He's very consistent with what he does. Like I said, you know, like he's reviewed Mario games from the NES all the way up to the Switch and those in between. He's trying to do something similar with Sonic, and I can tell he's having fun. So if you're into fun, check him out. The other channel is one that I shout out all the time, and there's good reason for that. It's because it's a channel that I also do videos on, mostly collab videos now, but I totally recommend you go check out Turbo Zone. You know, we recently did an album review for Gorillaz, and if you're into Gorillaz, like that's one of my favorite artists. I love working with Alex. He's a good friend of mine ever since the days where we were sharing videos on Classic Game Room's website. And he's a great reviewer and video creator. He loves film. He's got another side channel, Frickin' Frack. I love what he does, and you know, there's a reason that I've been helping to make videos on that channel since it started. Please check out Turbo Zone. Let's get them to 100 subs by the end of the year. Come on, we can do it. Shouts out to TZ. All day. With that, let me close on a Christmas story. It's not exactly a Christmas story. It's just kind of something that reminds me of Christmas, and it's one of my histories with gaming. Put on my Santa hat for this. So, I remember one time when I was younger, I had a Game Boy Color. I was big into handheld gaming. And I lost it. I don't know what happened to it. It just disappeared. So I was at a loss. I didn't have a handheld console, and I was like young, and I loved it. I loved playing Pokemon. It was like my heart was crushed. I think around that Christmas time, Mom and Dad bought me another Game Boy Color to replace the old one. I was really happy. A few days later, the old one turns up. So now I have two Game Boy Colors. So rather than like make me sell the other one or give it away, I was just rocking out to two Game Boy Colors, and Mom and Dad didn't even mind. So I was like trading Pokemon and stuff, and man, it was great. Like one Game Boy dies, I get another one to back it up. So nowadays, I don't have either of them, but it's a memory that I'll never forget. I always appreciated Mom and Dad for being so supportive of me and my gaming habits, but also like because of that, like it never interfered with my own life and like the things I do. Like look at me now, right? I got a master's degree and a full-time job, salary, all that. So shouts out, Mom and Dad, love you. Mom's down making breakfast right now. Couldn't ask for a better mom. So with that, share me one of your Christmas stories, you know, if you're up for it. Also, do a response to one of the topics, even if it's just in the comments. You know, I'm cool with that. Love to hear from you. I just been talking for like 20, 30 minutes, whatever. Your turn. Sorry to put that on you, but hey, thanks for checking it out. Let me know what you thought of the Majora T-Cast, if you enjoy this podcast style. Even if you like don't mind it being in audio form, like I almost wanted to do it on my phone and just like talking to the phone. I was thinking of doing that in the car, but we'll give that a shot too. We'll experiment. Merry Christmas all, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. Enjoy a good feast, and I will see you with more videos to come. All I want for Christmas is you, Tube. I'm done.